Hi folks, welcome to my humble homestead in the forest on this glorious fall day. I say glorious, you may not agree because it's overcast and a bit of a breeze, but really for me to stand here without gloves or have my hood on, and I'm actually looking at a flower or two. I mean, not including these little pansies. I don't know if you can see, there's one closer to you on this end of October day. Wow. And so today I have a question for you, one of those burning questions that I sometimes have on different subjects, and that I hope that you can help me figure out an answer to, without hopefully you going to AI or you taking to the internet. Just want to hear your raw answer. All right, not guided by anything, and then maybe we can figure it out. It's a rooster over there. And the question is this: I remember, and this isn't even that long ago, maybe a decade or so ago, there were maybe a handful of satellites orbiting the planet. I mean, I say handful, may have been 10, I don't know. Some of them may have been not necessarily launched, not necessarily with much fanfare, and maybe secretly. So say 10 satellites orbiting the planet, our planet, in about 10, 15 years ago. Now there are thousands. Just Elon alone owns thousands of them, and not this is not a thing against Elon. I'm just talking about how, in fact, the reason why I'm able to post these videos is because of him. So we didn't have high-speed internet before that. So I'm not nothing against Elon, but my point is, and then everyone, even India's launching, Pakistan's launching satellite. Everyone seems to have a satellite out there. So thousands, tens of thousands, maybe not tens of thousands, but thousands. So the question today is this: in fact, right now we're hearing about three sort of asteroidy, comety things going through our solar system. And one of them going right through, instead of coming through the atmosphere. And they're talking about looking westward. And by the time you get this video, that might have already gone past. I'm not sure. Can't remember when I heard that this would happen, but it doesn't matter. We do know that there's all these, even the slightest asteroids or fragments and things flying through, and I'm looking westward, and if you, I'm just saying it here, because we don't have much in way of light pollution. In fact, you might say zero light pollution on a clear sky. Regardless of a full moon or a new moon, we can see this twinkling, studded, beautiful night sky with all these stars flashing and blinking. But if even a fragment of something hits one of those asteroids, and we know how fast these asteroids are rotating around the planet. My understanding is that when the International Space Station up there goes around the Earth, something like every 45 minutes, or maybe it rotates 3 times a day, whatever. I'm talking about the speed of things. So the asteroid or comet or whatever you want to call it, however small, say the size of a football, soccer ball, or whatever, is coming at dizzying speed towards us because of our magnetic field coming towards us, and these thousands of satellites are going, like I said, 3 times or so more around the planet. They're going fast. and this is coming fast. And if, I mean, look at the likelihood of one hitting one of these. How likely would it be? In my opinion, the likelihood is large, very likely is what I mean. And so, with the number of satellites being so many now going or orbiting around Earth, if one satellite gets hit by one of these comets or asteroids, however small, and it's enough to burst it or shatter it or blow it up or whatever you want to call it, whatever term, and now you have many fragments of these high carbon steel or whatever they're made out of, like being like projectiles going in every direction. You with me so far? What if one of these hits just one other satellite? And again, the impact could be one going towards it, and it being towards the one of those shards of whatever, and they collide, and then that one explodes somehow, slightly, quickly, rapidly, whatever. And then now you see where I'm going with this. Imagine a domino effect of all these things. Now, this is not a conspiracy theory. These are just questions in my head. I don't really care about any of these conspiracy theories or whatever. I just translate what's in my head to questions and conundrum, and I try to solve them. And so this is the thing. I know, my understanding is that you going to an ATM machine, or you trading stocks individually or as a big stock trading company. If you are, GPS systems, if you're a plane that relies, whatever, the self-driving, whatever, really whatever, pretty much whatever we do, including the internet that you're watching this on now, is dependent on a satellite. Now, what it is, maybe it depends on many different satellites. Maybe all these satellites come together collectively to provide all these services, information being exchanged from here bounced up to there, from there bounced up to there, all these other things. So, see, I'm not trying to scare you. I'm not trying to be one of those doomsday whatever scenario prepper things. I'm just thinking the likelihood in my mind is so big that if it can happen sooner than later, the fact that it hasn't happened yet blows my mind. I don't understand how that is, but anyway, it hasn't happened. I guess that's a good thing. I don't know, but it hasn't happened. But should it happen, what then? First of all, can it happen? Maybe you can answer that to me. Can you tell me how, with any degree of certainty, that cannot happen in the future, especially with more people launching, more countries and individuals, individuals like Zuckerberg and that kind of people launching their satellites up there, and then there's the spy satellites and all those other things. How can it not happen? And when it happens, what do we do then? What are you going to do? What are you thinking about now in the likelihood, however small, that can happen? And what do you think the likelihood is? What percentage? How likely do you think that something like this could happen? Anyway, let me know. I would appreciate it. And these are questions that, the burning questions that keep me up at night sometimes, after I go to use the washroom and I can't sleep again. If you have any similar questions like that, let me know that too. And then maybe I can answer that. I don't know. It's just maybe something that I've already thought about and have come up with an answer of my own. I don't know. Let me show you that flower really quickly, because it's not a big deal probably where you live, but where I live, that's almost an anomaly. I know it's getting warmer, but boy, a flower in full bloom. First of all, these are tansies that I've done a video on before. Look at that. Yellow as anything, like it's summertime. But these are the ones that I'm talking about. Look at that. Unbelievable. Take good care.